Hello, it's Sid from Jacuzzi, and today I'm going to go over everything that comes in your water care startup kit from Jacuzzi Hot Tubs of Fargo. Starting off, we have a couple informational sheets. So this one goes into depth about how to use your at ease system. You want to make sure that you balance your water first. Once it's at about 80-90 degrees, you'll add a jumpstart packet to establish a chlorine level. And then you will go ahead and set the dials on your cartridges. You have your mineral one. That one you're going to pump all the way up to a 7. This one will last you about 6 months. Then your silver cartridge, depending on how many gallons your tub is, most of ours are between that 350 and 450. So we put it on a 5, but depending on the size and how many people, how often you're using your tub, it might differ. So you'll kind of play around with that and figure that out. These last up to 4 weeks, and if your pH and alkalinity are kind of off, it'll eat it up a little bit faster. So that's important to keep in mind. Once you have those set, you're gonna stick them either on your filter holder or on the floater, depending on which tub that you have. And you'll wanna put it on the filter that's closest to the control panel. Weekly, you'll want to test your tub with test strips. That's these here. On the back, it'll tell you the ideal ranges. You'll match the color and balance from there. The smart chlor indicator here, if it's purple, it's good. If it's white, you need to replace it. And if you want a more in-depth water care workup, you can always bring in a sample of your water, just a couple ounces, to our showroom here, and we'll run it on our spin disc system and give you a printout of exactly what you need to do. So that's like what you got to do for the at ease startup. Then once a month after that, you will use a maintain pack, which is just a single dose of non-chlorinated chalk. So you'll cut that open, put it in, cover off, jets on, and let those contaminants out. The next thing that's in your water care kit is the Jacuzzi Hot Tubs of Fargo water care guide. In here, it just talks about our company a little bit, talks about the order that you want to balance your stuff in, so alkalinity, then pH, then total hardness. You want to make sure that you give it a little bit of time in between each of the steps, usually like 20 minutes to an hour, just depending on. That kind of goes over all that here. This is just a little quick view of how to use the at ease system, so if you just want to reference this, you can. Otherwise, that big sheet is there for you as well. This side talks about filter cleaning and some pro tips about it. And then on the inside of this, it troubleshoots your water. So if you have like cloudy water or discolored stains on the surface, you can kind of come in and read what some of the ideas are that could be going on, help you troubleshoot it on your own. But we are also always here to help if you have questions. Give us a call or stop in. So moving on, we're gonna go through all the things that come in your kit. So starting off, we've got the at ease system like we just talked about. In this mineral kit, you'll get a pack of Jumpstart. You will get a thing of test strips, as well as a blue and a silver cartridge. You also get a set of filters, like a second set of filters, so that when you are cleaning them, you can just swap them out super easily. So you'll take the dirty filters out, put the clean ones in, do the filter cleaning process on those dirty ones, and let them sit, dry, just be clean until it's time to swap them next month. Makes it super easy, nice process. This is the awesome water purge little gel substance. We recommend using this twice a year in your tub when you drain it. You want to make sure that when you use this that you take out the filters and you remove your pillows. You'll just squeeze this in, you'll run your jets for a full cycle, and then wipe down the water line because there's going to be some nasty gunk. I like to run the jets and wipe and run the jets and wipe until nothing else comes out, but that's personal preference. Moving on, we've got the awesome weekly maintenance. Now this stuff is a little bit different than the purge product. This is like obviously for a weekly maintenance, so you're going to just put a couple ounces of this in each week. The instructions are on the back based on how many gallons that you have in your tub, but what this will do is it'll help keep your lines and your jets and your plumbing and everything clean, so that when you do use this purge pack, it's not as nasty. This stuff will give you that water line kind of scumminess at first, but just wipe it down, totally normal. That just means that it's doing its job. So over time when you're using that, you will have less of the residual stuff on the edges. Next we have our Sani Spa and Spa Shock. These two products are kind of a backup to the at ease system. So let's say that your at ease system runs out and you don't have the ability to come into the showroom and get, you know, your new pack. You can go ahead and use these. So this is a non-chlorine shock and this is a chlorinated granules. So Just use those upon needed. Natural clarifier helps prevent oil buildup in like scum lines. So if you have like body lotion or oils or anything on your skin and that gets in the water, it can make like a little film at the top. It's kind of hard to get rid of that without the natural clarifier. So just squirt a couple ounces of that in. It'll bring it to your filters, and you might have to take your filters out and rinse them a little bit earlier than your regular scheduled monthly, filter cleaning, but it's doing its job. The next thing is foam away. And what foam away is good for is obviously getting away the foam. So if you have a freshly washed swimsuit or a little residual shampoo in your hair, that mixed with hot water causes mountains of bubbles. You can squirt a couple ounces of this in there and it changes the surface tension of the water so it doesn't allow those bubbles to escape. Now it's not like a fix-all solution, but it is a band-aid to allow you to use your tub and not be kicked out from the bubbles. Next is our filter cleaner. We use Awesome Filter Bright Filter Cleaner, and this product is exactly what it says. It is awesome. It is a degreaser. Some people think that your filters, you can just take them out, rinse them with cold water, bang them together, and they're good to go. That's actually not the fact. The oils and body stuff and everything that comes off and goes into the filters gets kind of gunked up in there, and it gets a little bit like slimy. Sometimes there's some discoloration, small odor. This stuff cuts that and gets rid of it all, and it's safe to have it back in the water. So you just fully saturate it, let it sit for about 20-30 minutes, rinse it out until there are no bubbles, and then you either let them sit out to dry until next month or replace them. I have a more in-depth filter cleaning video on our YouTube, so check that out if you want to know more. The last three products that we have are the hardness control and the alkalinity and pH up and down. Now, hardness control, typically you don't have to use every single time. You're just going to kind of use this in the beginning to get your hardness calcium level established in your water, and then you might have to add more when you add more water or whatnot. But what this stuff does is it helps give the chlorine something to bind onto in the water so that it's not just going in and being released. It holds on to it. And then lastly, alkalinity and pH up and down. These products are going to be used most often probably. Anytime that somebody gets in your hot tub, their body has its own pH, as does the water, and that affects it. So it will fluctuate on a weekly basis. You'll pretty much always have to adjust that, and that's in any tub. That's not just in jacuzzi tubs, that's in saltwater tubs, that's in chlorine tubs, that's in bromine tubs, that's in everything, any body of water. So that's very important. pH and alkalinity is key for bather comfort. So if you get in water and you feel really dry and itchy afterwards, typically your pH or alkalinity is off, and you want to make sure that you get that on. When those are off, the water is either too acidic or too basic, and that's why you get those reactions on your skin. That is kind of all-encompassing what comes in your Jacuzzi Jacuzzi of Fargo Water Care Startup Kit. We are always here to answer questions, so if you get going, get working on it, and you're like, wait, what does this do? Just give us a call or stop in and we'll walk you through it. Thank you. Have a good day. Happy hot tubbing.